Does my ex want to be friends or more? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But first, my name is Clay with ModernLove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you deserve to be loved for who you are. And if you agree with me and you like what we're doing here, support this channel by hitting that thumbs up button. And if you're new, you might want to think about subscribing to the channel while you're down there. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about whether or not your ex wants to be friends or something more. Now, this can be a little bit of a mind-blowing event for some people, but let's talk about this. Your ex probably doesn't know how the two of you are going to fit together after your breakup. They don't know exactly how it's going to be. You know, sure, some people, they just want nothing to do with their ex after the breakup. They want to move on. Totally. But if you're watching this video, that's probably not you. You clicked on this video because of the title of the video and all that. So your ex is probably at least kind of warm towards you, but maybe also kind of giving you some distance, creating some distance between the two of you. And you're kind of wondering what's going on. Do they want to be friends? Are they interested in something more? What's happening here? And the truth is that they probably don't know. They don't know if they want to be friends. They don't know if they want something more. They don't know how the two of you are going to fit together. Now, I know that a lot of people would probably at this point say, okay, I'm going to let them decide. What can I do to help them figure out what they want? What can I do to give them space so that they can figure out whether they want to get back together or not? And the truth is that your ex probably isn't going to make this decision on their own. They're going to need more input from you in order to actually start to make this decision. That is to say, they're going to have to interact with you to see if they enjoy interacting with you. If they don't enjoy interacting with you, or, those are basically the factors that are going to determine whether the two of you come closer together or further apart. Now, I've talked about this before in other videos, but you don't have to worry about the friend zone with your ex. If this is a new concept to you, we've talked about this before, but if this is a new concept to you, check out this video up here in the video card in the corner. But you don't have to worry about your ex friend zoning you. Assuming you've had an actual romantic relationship where you've, been intimate, you've kissed, you've done things that couples have done and all that. You don't have to worry about the friend zone, barring any kind of very major, personality changes, physical changes, things like that. Okay. I've never actually experienced a client whose ex has just been like, yeah, I feel absolutely nothing towards you. It's just mostly due to emotional blocks that are happening. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. Your ex feels attracted to you, but if you're not sure if they want to, just kind of keep you in their life in some sort of non-relationship way, or if they want to actually get back together and have something more, then you really need to understand the kind of relationships and the kind of dynamics that are at play here. So there's two forces, right? There's the side of things where interacting with you feels good. That feels good. The two of you obviously have some degree of ability to connect and to bond and to get close to one another and all of that stuff. Otherwise, you would have never been in a relationship, right? You probably have some good memories with one another. You probably have some shared experiences, things of that nature. And so it makes sense that there would be some good aspect that would draw them in and make them want to get closer to you. But, the two of you also did break up. And I don't know what the specifics were. I don't know why it happened, but there's some reason why they broke up with you. And that's probably caused by this other dynamic here on this other side of the equation, which is things that feel bad. And, you can kind of boil all of the reasons why the two of you broke up down to one common thing, and that's that it felt worse to be in a relationship with you than it did for them to think about being on their own or being in a relationship with someone else. So you have these two forces that are pulling them in two different directions. Sometimes they feel pulled towards you because interacting with you feels good. Sometimes they feel pulled away from you because there are still some considerations, some reasons that the two of you broke up, and some things that could be keeping them from actually wanting to have a relationship with you. And so they're going to likely be stuck in this limbo of moving back and forth between these two things, unless you can increase the positive emotions and decrease or even eliminate the negative emotions. And if that's what you want to do, just focus on removing the negative emotions that are there between the two of you. These can take all sorts of different forms. It could look like painful memories, hurts, unresolved things that happened before the breakup, maybe things that happened during the breakup. Maybe in the heat of the moment you said some things that you regret, or they lashed out at you, or things that happened in the heat of the moment, or things that happened after the breakup. Like maybe you were in damage control mode and texting them like 1,000,000 times a day or something like that. These are things that can kind of add to the negative side of the equation. So you need to do things to clear those out. We'll go ahead and make a video in the near future about apologizing to your ex and kind of getting clear about all that stuff. But that's something that you might want to think about doing if you need to clean up some of those emotions. And then, of course, you want to increase the emotions on the positive side. These are things that cause your ex to have a great experience when the two of you are together. And, it's not always just about laughing and fun and tickles and pillow fights and I love yous and all that stuff, but it's also really just about being real with one another. We don't just want to be with somebody who's, happy all the time or always has their, life put together or anything like that. We want to be with somebody who's a real, genuine person who, doesn't always have everything figured out, who doesn't always have everything perfect, who doesn't always have an answer for everything. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us able to connect with one another in a great, effective sort of way. And so what you want to do is you want to actually look for these places within yourself where you're not being 100% transparent, 100% vulnerable, 100% honest about who you are. And you want to work at taking down these walls so that your ex can see who you are. They can actually see who you are as a person and connect with you and connect with the humanity inside of you, because it's these rough edges that we have with us, the parts where we doubt ourselves, the parts where we aren't sure of ourselves, the parts where we are worried or anxious or fearful or whatever, that actually allow someone else to see themselves in us. And that's what actually allows us to feel closer to someone else. So it's not just about, laughing and tickling and romantic things and I love yous and all of that. It can be about that for sure, but it's also about just being able to be real with someone else. Just as a society, we're honestly kind of starved for that authentic, genuine, real connection. And if you can show your ex that, then that's probably going to be something very rare for them. And that's probably something that they're not going to be able to get elsewhere. And it's going to make you stand out a lot and make them want to kind of definitely move closer towards you. So does your ex want to be just friends or something more? The truth is, they don't know. They're looking for something from you to give them a reason to choose one way or another. They're looking for some reason from you to get them to stop sort of waffling back and forth on the middle of that fence. The question is, which side are you feeding? Which side are you nourishing? Which side are you giving more attention and passion and intention towards? Are you creating worse connections by having more fights, by having more misunderstandings, by sending the wrong messages, by being relationship focused instead of connection focused, by making many of these other mistakes like being in damage control mode? Or are you nourishing the opposite side, where you're having positive interactions, where you're being more open and vulnerable and honest with one another, where you're sharing your genuine experience with one another, where you're building new memories with one another, and all of these sorts of things? If you're nourishing the positive side of things, then it's very likely that you and your ex are going to move towards the something more side of the equation. And if you're nourishing the negative side of things, it's very likely that your ex is going to be leaning more towards the, being friends. And by friends, I mean, like, hey, yeah, let's be friends, and then you never talk to each other again, kind of, friends sort of thing. But anyway, I hope that helps answer your question about whether or not your ex wants to be friends or something more. Once again, my name is Clay with modernlove.life. If you like what we're doing, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You may also want to check out this series over here on what we call advanced relational skills to help you connect with your ex, or you may want to check out this video over here. Once again, thank you so much. Hope this video has been helpful for you, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.